Okay, now we're going to look at some of the different things that you can do in Canva. So one of the things I think that you might find beneficial is logo. So when you're first starting out, you may not really be able to do a logo, pay someone to do a logo for you. So you can actually create a logo in here, and you can, in this search bar, you can type in pretty much anything. And what it does is it has those dimensions. And what dimensions means is the size. It has the size of a typical logo. So let's just take, for example, this little bee. Okay, so let's say that yours was Honeybee Creations. All right, so all I did was click in here. Wherever there is wording, you can replace the wording or take it out. Okay, so this would look really cute for something that was Honeybee Creations. So it would be really quick and easy to come in here and change it. Anytime you click on anything over here to the left, it's immediately going to replace what you have here on your sheet. But what it's going to do is it's going to keep the words that you put in here. So when you are working inside of Canva, anything that is highlighted in the box with these little dots on the corner, that's what you're working on. So this is what you have selected. You use your left mouse button to go down and select each one of these pieces. So you can select the wording, and if you put your cursor at the front or the back of the wording, then you can use your backspace on your computer and type something new in. Okay, so that's how that works. So it's super easy to change out any of these to try to find something that really works for what you're trying to say. Okay, so what it's doing is it's taking the words that we had already spelled out and it's putting it in these templates. So this is what we started with, okay? All right, and so we don't want this guilt-free food in here because that's not what we do. So we can just highlight this and take it out. So anywhere where you see it has a little watermark in the back, can you see that watermark in the back where it says Canva back here? So if I make this, let's make this larger so I can show you what I mean. So right here in the yellow, you can kind of see Canva in the background. When you see that, what that means is that it is something that requires you to either have premium images or you have to purchase it for $1. Okay, so anytime you see this little crown here, what that means is if you have a premium membership, so if you're paying on a monthly basis, you get those images for free. Otherwise, you're going to have to pay for that. However, paying $1 for a logo as opposed to paying someone $25 or hundreds of dollars is considerably smaller. Okay, so you can change anything you want on here. You can see if I select this little bee up here at the top left, that is the color. So if I really wanted this bee to be, oh, let's just say purple. Well, I could make it purple. I could make it yellow. I could make it more orange. So you can see there's a lot of things you can change in here. You can change the color of the lettering. So if I click down here and you see, I can tell it's selected because the little blue box is all the way around this section. And right up here is where I can change anything with the wording. Okay, so this first one is the font. So if you click down on that, it's going to bring up all the different font selections you have. Now remember, If it has a little crown next to it, that means it's going to cost you money. If it doesn't have a crown, it's going to be free. So you can do any of these that you want. Okay, so you can just kind of go through and see what they look like, how you want it to look. This part's fun, just kind of changing it out. You can change the size right here. Okay, so first we looked at the font. So you can remember that you can change anything that's inside these, okay? So all you have to do is look to see where your cursor is, look to see where that outline is. So you can see here, we have the whole thing selected. We have our little blue marks. So let's just look at a different one. Okay, so this one here is free. You see, it does not have the little Canva or remove watermark down here. So if we wanted to, and we were happy with this one, so let's take this part out. Oops. Let's just highlight this whole thing. We can right click and we can just cut it out. We don't really need that. Okay. Up here at the top, do you see where it says yellow cute animal logo? You can change this to say Honeybee Creations logo. And then when you download this, it's automatically going to be it's automatically going to be named what you named it up here. That way you don't have to go and rename it once it gets on your computer. Once you have satisfied yourself with your logo, and remember you can change anything in here. You see how you can select each one of these elements by clicking on it with your left mouse button. You can also make things larger. And remember, so you see where the little dotted line is with the little white buttons in the corners. You can select any one of those to make it larger or smaller. And what you're doing is you're holding your left mouse button down and with that corner, and you're able to make it larger or smaller. You can click in any one of these elements and change. So remember, we can change out the font. We can change out the size. So the size is here in this drop down. This is the color. You can also change the alignment, so you can make it centered. You can make it right, left. Okay. You can change the spacing. So this will make the letters larger and they will space out the letters. You can change the line height. Okay, like that. You can also ungroup these. So what happens is if you select this ungroup, then each one of these elements becomes its own element. Okay. If you are satisfied with the way that things are, you can click group to put them back together. And when you're ready, up here at the right top is the download. So you just click on that, and you either want to select PNG or JPG. So those are the two picture formats. So PNG is going to be a little bit higher quality than the JPG. So you probably are used to hearing JPEG, so that's what this is. And you could just click on download. If you have a PC, it is going to go into your downloads folder. So you would have to go to your computer and you would have to go to downloads, and then you're going to see it in your downloads folder. Let's see, where did it go? Right there. Okay, so you can see it just went into my downloads folder. Okay. If you have a Mac, you're going to need to go to your Finder in order to find this. Remember, we named it. Okay, so we named it Honeybee Creations Logo. All right. And so it's going to go, and you can look it up on your computer from what you named it. Okay. So that's logo. Logo is just a basic. It's not going to be a whole lot of things that you can do to the logo, but I think it's a really important one that you should know, because when you're first starting out, you know, a logo is not going to be something that you're going to want to spend a whole lot of money on. As you grow and you have done more to brand yourself, then it might be a good idea to spend a little money to have a logo done. All right, so in the next video, we're going to look at how you can do some banners, and we're also going to look at how you can get things together for your Instagram, for your YouTube. So we're talking about thumbnails. So thumbnails can be used both on Instagram and YouTube, and we're also going to look at Pinterest, doing some Pinterest graphics.